We're making sure that we're not obligated to the inmate, that we're not dependent on the inmate. But that's why we're put in this position. We have to be better than them. Because if we don't respect ourselves, we can't expect the public to. How you guys doing today? It's Anthony Gangi. Welcome to another episode of Tear Talk. And today we're going to discuss fentanyl and K2. It's affecting our facilities right now, specifically PA, Ohio, Arkansas, but guys, it goes way beyond just those three. And today, I want to discuss what has happened, what is happening, and something else we need to take note. So when we come back from our sponsors, let's talk about fentanyl and K2 in our prisons. As always, guys, the show is Tear Talk, so if you haven't, please subscribe, interact, engage, comment, hit that bell. That bell's going to notify you every time I post up a video. I stand by for our sponsors.
I wanted to attend a university that had an intelligence program. I wanted to look at problems different. I wanted to increase my critical thinking abilities. AMU offered those avenues to expand. Obtaining your degree as an adult, you're actually paying yourself and investing in yourself. You can't put a dollar on it, it's priceless. It's something that can never be taken away from you.
American Military University. Learn from the leader.
Being a corrections officer takes its toll on even the strongest individuals. The constant need to perform at the highest level, putting your life at risk in a hostile environment, and the mental scarring of traumatic experiences. 31% of corrections officers show symptoms of PTSD, and 66% of people with PTSD also suffer with a substance abuse problem. The Transformations First Responders program is specially designed to help veterans and officers heal from the grips of addiction and PTSD in a comfortable, supportive, and serene setting. You are not alone. If you have questions about the services we offer, give us a call at 866-762-8454 to get more information on this affordable and life-changing program.
Thank you guys for listening to our sponsors. It's a crazy time in corrections. Hopefully you guys have been following what's happening in different states across the country when it comes to drug exposure. PA, Pennsylvania, has gone on lockdown. Secretary ordered the lockdown because there have been exposures at 10 different facilities affecting about 29 staff members. And they believe it is some form of synthetic cannabis. Also in Arkansas, you have the death of 5 inmates within about a week at the Varner facility. Again, they believe it's some form of synthetic cannabis, K2 maybe. Going back, speaking about the exposures in PA, Ohio, go to save an inmate's life who possibly overdosed, and you get about 25 to 29 staff members exposed to what looks to be heroin and fentanyl. And the number keeps changing, but I believe it's 29, but I read a few articles, so the numbers vary a little bit. So I'm getting between 25 and 29, but I believe it's 29. And here they are trying to save the life of an individual, so the response team gets exposed. They got to be taken out. And that's medical and custody. Maryland sees what's happening in PA and Ohio, and they're saying, you know what? Automatically, let's suspend visits. Let's close off the mailroom, and let's see if there's any concerns in our facility. And I believe now they opened things up, but they made an effort to be proactive, and I do applaud that. I also, again, I know it seems a little late. We're waiting after 10 facilities have been affected and possibly 29 staff. I'm working on what was the articles that were sent my way. Well, now Pennsylvania decides to lock it down and take some steps to make sure that staff is aware of what's going on, that there's protective gear, processes for search and mail is going to change. A lot of things that are hopefully going to be a proactive measure, but technically it kind of feels that it still was reactive. 29 staff should have stopped. Lockdown should have happened when it was just the first staff member. But again, I'm not going to go back and rehash the past. I'm talking about where we're at now. So it was a great move to lock it down. and see what's going on. But the reason why I'm doing this vlog, and it took me a while to figure out how I wanted to approach this, was that one thing is, and I want the public to be made aware, that addictions aren't just personal anymore. They're not. The addictions now are affecting the well-being of our heroes behind that wall. And when that affects their well-being, it affects their ability to respond. It really does, guys. The addictions now are going to affect how the response team responds to medical emergencies. So a guy suffering from a heart attack now may have a slower response, because either staff's going to want to suit up before they go in to protect this individual, to save his life, or they may become hesitant because they don't know what they're running into anymore. So usually during medical codes, guys, as soon as we hear that code go off, we run. Medical runs, custody runs, we do what we can to secure the scene and protect that inmate's life. Save that inmate's life. That's why I always use the word protect. But from a medical perspective, I mean save. And now, with these exposures, the fentanyl, the heroin, the K2, seeing your own staff members getting taken out by ambulance, you're going to see that there's going to be some hesitation. Or if we are going to be wearing that protective gear, you're going to see the codes, those medical codes may have a little bit of a delay. Something simple as a heart attack, because it can come out like, hey, how do we know it's a heart attack? We don't know that until that's been discovered by medical. In the meantime, universal precaution may be, if I got an inmate unconscious, we may just have to suit up automatically before we enter into that room, because we don't know if it's an overdose. We don't know if there's any form of drug in there that can affect us. So you're going to have that delay now. You're going to have a delay. And then, as I mentioned, the possible fact that people may be hesitant. Because again, even though I may have protective gear, I may still be hesitant of entering a room that I feel has an unknown substance in it. And now we're also talking about, obviously, in the effort to save the inmate's life, we're talking about a greater risk to us. A greater risk to us when we go to save the inmate's life. A greater risk to the facility. So what I haven't been reading, and this is why I'm doing this vlog, is there going to be a consequence now for those who either get caught bringing something like this into the facility, get caught with having it in their possession, or get caught with using it? Is there going to be a major consequence now because of what's happening? We know it's there. We know that, again, I just mentioned that this isn't personal now. These addictions are not personal. They're starting to affect the well-being of us, the responders, the well-being of the entire facility. So are there going to be major consequences for those who choose to take this route? Will the prosecutors pick this up? And will the prosecutors go forward and do what must happen so we can start dealing with these exposures? Just curious, what are your thoughts? What consequences would you like to see? Because it's needed. Yeah, we have the preventive measures, but if someone decides to do it, someone decides to sell it, someone decides to bring it in, at that point, how do we react? What's the consequence? What shows that we're zero tolerance? I'm curious. As always, guys, the show is Tear Talk. Please, if you haven't, subscribe, interact, engage, comment, hit that bell. That bell will notify you every time I post a video. Thank you, guys.